like beautiful theater cum bookstore in Argentina.
Yes.
And Buenos Aires.
Still angry about.
You were mad because they didn't have anything for you.
They literally only had like your Jane Austen and Harry Potters there. I'm going to Argentina to this amazing bookstore, and that's all you have for the English section?
It was a shame because the Spanish section had a lot of variety, and then the English section was just the same books you could have bought in Belfast.
Exactly.
You would think, at the very least, you take your top 10 Argentina books and you translate
That's all I wanted.
Like something.
That's literally all I wanted. I want your most famous Argentinian author, translate that one book. Just give me one.
Just literally one book, yeah.
The closest they had were the Mexican author. Yeah, your Marquez.
Yeah. That was a shame. We didn't get anything for you there. But I've got 3 books. I think I'll do another one next month. The third one I'm going to...
my face.
No. The third one I'm going to hold off on because it's a big one.
It's alright, I've heard you love this book.
Well, this one, I love the cover of this book. It's a very pretty cover. It's Gabriela Cabezón Camara, Las Aventuras de la China Iron. So, China Iron is her name somehow. Like a country and a material. The reason is, so, I guess, I didn't know this, but in some kind of Argentinian slang, China just means like a girl. So her name was just girl, basically.
Makes sense. Argentina sounds like it would do that. It's going to be close enough to Chica, Gina, something like that.
Iron is because her husband his name was like iron translated, basically. Actually, I think Iron is Hierro and he was Fierro, but I guess close enough. So she had to basically, at some point in the book, she has to have a name. And she meets this Scottish girl, Elizabeth, and she's like, well, you can't just be called girl, like La China. They just keep calling her La China, like the girl. That's what her husband called her. So they're like, you have to actually have a name. And she's like, well, yes, his name is like Iron. And I think Elizabeth's name was Star, so she also adds Estrella to hers. Just like China, Iran, Estrella. Cool, that's my name then, I guess. So, well, I don't know if you can just add everyone else's name onto yours, but okay, I guess that's your name.
Yeah.
I feel...
So what's the plot?
That's
always
book
the question.
Does something, again, where it seems to run out of steam halfway through. But it's also pretty short. It's another 200-pager, I think. Actually, less, 180. Still more difficult than it should have been to get through just because there's no dialogue. Again, it's your Latin American thing. So I thought, 180, I'll get through that in 2 days. And then it's like, it still took a week,
Yeah, it can be a bit rough.
A bit more slow going. But I did like it.
Good.
So, this is sad. I'm sorry to also break the no rape rule again. But this girl and her husband, and I use the word girl accurately, she has had 2 children before the age of 14.
Gross.
Very gross. They also have a servant or slave, like a black slave that they refer. So she refers to herself as the Negra de la Negra. So she's basically like, she treats me like her black slave, essentially, and beats me.
Okay.
So this is a 14-year-old girl who's being beaten and raped, essentially. That's her life. And she doesn't know who her parents were or anything like that. So her life is already terrible. The story of the book is that when her husband goes away, she escapes.
Okay.
And she meets this other girl, Elizabeth. And the first half of the book, they're just you see on the cover here, they're just going through the jungles.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a tribal type story.
It's not a tribal story, but they start living that type of lifestyle, the 2 girls. And they later meet another guy who joins them. But they just go around, and Elizabeth introduces her to tea, because she's a British lady, and she thinks tea is amazing. But she also educates her. This girl just lives in this little village in the jungle, and I guess she thinks that's the whole world, So Elizabeth, she teaches her, well, you live in Argentina, and then I'm from, the UK, and also these other countries, like China, that's also a country. And then she gives her some, Indian food and teaches her about India, and, this girl doesn't know anything about the world.
Is this, your white savior type book as well?
I don't think it's necessarily trying to do anything pedantic. They just make friends, essentially.
Okay.
She teaches her a bit, they go around, they're bathing in the streams and all this type of stuff. It's kind of nice. they're not saving her necessarily. She's just escaped. I really like the first half of the book where it's just them like living in the jungle, like seeing some animals and hanging out. It's very nice. They also fall in love, and you get like a small lesbian love story, which is nice because no one's really loved her before.
Yeah,
she's been raped and beaten her whole life, so this is like nice. And she's like, oh, she's like kind to me and doesn't appear to hate me. Like, this is fantastic, you know?
What? That's how love should be?
Yeah. If only anyone had thought of that before, you know?
Yeah. Well, I beat you because I love you.
That's that's so. It's so gross, and the ending of this book is also disgusting. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
Well, you might think that disgusting is taking it too far, but it's bad. So
I want a good ending for it.
No. They have a good time. The second half of the book, it starts to lose me a little bit. So they also drink a lot of whiskey. So I don't know how, but Elizabeth has a lot of whiskey with her. So every time anything bad is happening, or she's like getting emotional or whatever, she's like, I get the whiskey. Here we go, let's have like 3 whiskeys each, you know? But they go to like this colonel's house in the second half, and they spend some time there. He's very racist to the workers he has, but he's okay with with our main character, who's like Josefina de la China Iron Estrella or something like. It's her name.
They keep adding.
Yeah. But
I love it. All right.
They plan to leave, but bring some of his workers with them to help them and build like a little tribe almost of their own and help the workers, you know. But it doesn't work out. The strangest thing happens though. I don't know if you've read The Perfume, but there's just a massive orgy scene.
Oh, okay.
They're just like, I get this one day a year, we just have orgies.
I've heard of that, but I've definitely never read it.
So,
are you reading it in the future?
I reviewed it a couple of years back.
Oh, did
German
you?
book. Pretty good. Maybe the only German book I've ever read. But, yeah, it's sad because here's one chapter. China is not a name. Like, they have to tell her that. Like,
oh,
she knows nothing, you know? She sometimes thinks back about home, but she's kind of like, not with nostalgia, almost with regret or confusion, or like, oh, why was my life so crap, you know? The bit with the colonel, I don't really know why they included it. They're just there for a while, and then they leave. This is where the book ends. The ending is the last bit, which I'll tell you now, which made me sad. So, can you guess how it might end? They're in the jungle, they're faffing around, they've started a lesbian love story. One of them is like already a lot more like sophisticated than the other and everything, but they're getting along fine. They go to a colonel's house for miscellaneous reasons, now they leave. What could possibly happen next?
Captured by somebody.
No, they find a village with their 2 husbands in it.
Okay.
And she sees her kids, and she's like, oh, I miss my kids, I guess. And this is why I think it's really disgusting. This could have been a story of liberation. Instead, they're like, oh, both of us just go back to our husbands then. And they have to hide their relationship from the husbands as well. So they go back to the husbands, and then immediately the husbands are controlling to the point where it's like, well, we have to like sneak a little hug in here and there because we can't let them know that we're affectionate towards each other and things like that. It's like, oh, so you've gained nothing? He apologizes. He's like, oh, I'm really sorry that I essentially enslaved you and treated you like garbage and you and raped you. And it's like, no, that's not enough. No. But she's just like, yeah, fair enough. I guess I'll take him back. Happy ending. And I was like, what? That's the ending?
Yeah, that better not be the happy ending.
Like, I thought at the very least the 2 girls would go
and
together.
Get the kids or something and take them.
Yeah.
Something like
honestly,
that.
I actually forgot about the kids. I thought they would just be a lesbian couple. But I thought, once I saw the husbands and the kids, I thought, right, maybe they're going to persuade the husbands, look, we've actually fallen in love, so you're just going to have to deal with that. We're not with you, we're with each other. Or at the very least, some kind of, we're now in like a foursome type of situation. But they're just like, no, guess our love story is over, and we just go back with these abusive men. Cool, the end.
So what was the point?
What was the point? They have a nice story.
Yeah.
She even reads her Oliver Twist at one point. She educates her about like English classics. And there's also a little bit of like, here are all the countries, and the UK is the best one.
Of course.
But, you know.
Even Rosemary's Baby said, like, nobody ever stops reading Dickens.
And they shouldn't. Keep calm and read your Dickens. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, the ending made me really sad. I liked the book.
I hope that's what it was supposed to make you feel, but
I don't know.
I don't want it to be, happy end.
Because I enjoyed it, I'm going to give it a yeah. And I really enjoyed the first half. But the caveat is, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like
No dialogue.
No dialogue. I didn't like that she's essentially being raped her whole life. And I also didn't like that the story sort of fades out in the second half. So there are some negatives. It's short enough that it didn't outstay its welcome. I read it in Spain. I had a nice time with it. I'm going to give it a yeah, but again, it's not like the strongest yeah that I've ever given.
Yeah, sometimes the moral things can
They get me down.
Book down. Didn't do it with Rosemary's Baby.